Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, enemies and friends, welcome to the show that never ends. You are watching On the Real. We are back. We took a 2-week hiatus because of me and getting my stuff together. Right now, we got some people running late, but I think we will have a very special guest and surprise for you coming up in just a little bit. I am your host, Mr. Everborn Saga, or on Twitter, Everborn Sega. And joining me today is my brother from another mother, Mr. TK Zero Asante. How are you doing, sir?
What's going on, man? I was bopping to that music because I've forgotten how that bump was going. It's been a while, man. We missed it a little bit. How you doing?
I'm all right. Just
how's that Kickstarter going? Come on now, off the rip. How's that Kickstarter going?
Kickstarter's doing well. The fine folks at Kickstarter chose us as one of the projects they love, so that's a nice
fantastic
little
news.
Sort of a badge of honor. But we're we are we were funded in the first 24 hours, and now we are pushing ahead and you know, we set two stretch goals. One is for 6,500, and the other is for 10,000. Okay. And what we're offering with that is if we hit 6,500, everyone will get upgraded for free.
Hey, so people better get on the stick there because I need my upgrade. What's going?
This is what I'm
Y'all
saying,
better get on the stick. What's good?
And if we hit 10,000, that will allow us to edit the novel, right? So what I want to do is I want to show while we wait for everybody to file in, or maybe I should wait for people to file in and then show what's going on.
Sure, yeah, no, let's do it. Let's do it halfway in. Let's do it halfway in. Palate cleanser, you know.
All right.
in between the two reviews we're gonna be doing.
Right. We'll just put the tip in, so to speak. But yeah, we're good. We'll show off that campaign in just a moment. If I can find it on the screen. Here we go. All right. But here it is. Here he is, the man of the hour.
What's going on, guys?
Mr.
What's going on, man?
King David.
What's going on, sir?
Happy to have you. Now,
gentlemen.
Now we want to keep this show a tight 2 hours because I have not slept since the Kickstarter launched.
Are you going to sleep now? I don't think so.
I made sure that I got my order in. That's what I was calling you that day. I was like, I could not. I said, I don't know how the hell did I make the other order, and I'm like, I thought I was a member of Kickstarter. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm trying to put in my shit, and it was like, no. And so I had to make a whole new account. But
I see.
And then I said, yeah, man, I want to be part of that Everborn Saga. Immortal, the legendary. It was $1,000. I said, and I'm gonna
And, you know, it's funny. There's only one of those, and somebody
did it.
Yeah. No. Listen, man.
Amazing. That's great.
Let me tell you something. If situations was a little bit different, you goddamn straight.
If you didn't have to get them statues.
No, I cut back on that. I'm doing renovations of the house and all that other stuff. I'm teaching this one how to invest. So I'm bringing her along slowly. We starting with Acorn with her. So
I got you. That's where they take the change off of every purchase, and then link
it to her debit card. I do that, and then I put $50 a week out of her account that goes there, and then it diversifies that we already picked out where we're going. And what I've noticed, because I try to talk to her about what I see in certain trends, and all the tech is going towards agriculture, right? So you don't follow the tech, you actually follow what the benefit of the tech will be, right? Because it's by the time you see the tech, it's already too late. That's the shit that you was talking about, right?
I was trying to tell Saab.
Yeah, but he doesn't understand it, right? So by the time you see the tech, it's too late. But you have to go to where the benefit of the tech is going. The benefit of the tech is everything in agriculture, and people don't understand what's this crazy boom in all of these plant-based foods and all of this stuff like that. How is it happening so fast?
This is like Beyond Meat and things like that, right?
Yeah, like Impossible Meat and all this other stuff. But it's happening at a rapid pace because what the elite and everybody in the know knows, that our meat sources and the way that we consume them, it's not sustainable, right?
Hasn't been for a
Uh,
long time.
Yeah, it hasn't
yeah.
been.
I think COVID really made that start. They brought that to fruition. So now people are quickly diversifying. You know,
Well,
you can see it.
what they got a chance to do is actually go into these places and notice that they had cows with no heads.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's
Yeah.
man, it's some horrible stuff.
There's some crazy documentaries out there for sure.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
this is like, it sounds like a joke, but one of the leading causes in climate change is actually methane from cow farts.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what a dumb way to like end the earth. You know what I'm
Right?
saying?
You died from a cloud of cow farts.
This is what I'm saying. Like
Indeed.
it's gonna like ruin the ozone layer because we couldn't get our act together. So
That's right.
I'm all about that beyond meat.
No, don't be.
Okay,
Right?
talk to me. I heard that's all oil.
The sodium levels and the oils that they're using inside of these plant-based foods, it eliminates certain aspects of it that's harmful, but it introduces a whole different level of harmful nature to you, right? So you're gonna see high blood pressure and diabetes shoot up through the roof
more so than right now.
Immediately.
It's crazy. Like
because those sodium levels, those are used as preservatives to keep the meat lasting longer. But what does that do for you? That doesn't do so well for you. You know,
it don't make you last long.
That's right. There's a balance that they need to strike, and the pendulum is kind of swinging a little bit. You got to kind of wait until they find it.
People don't change old habits until forced. Right. So when you go to the doctor and they tell you, man, you're borderlining on this and you're borderlining on that, until you're laid up in the hospital with a tube in your chest and your legs sticking out, then you realize, you know what, I got to stop this shit. And I saw one of my friends, he lost his leg not too long ago. And he looks like he's in the best shape of his life right now because he finally listened to the doctor. And he looked like he lost like 60 pounds. Easy. I'm like, you lost a leg and lost 60 pounds. You lost the person with you. And he's like, yeah, but I'm feeling better. I said, good. Good.
Yeah.
You were in disrepair before. So
yeah, man. No, it's definitely to being proactive. But the answer to all our problems is Soylent Green.
What? Let's not spoil that one. You don't know what he's
talking about.
Look
it up. Okay. All right. So I want to start out with what we are watching, folks. I'll go last. Aside from the movies that we're getting ready to talk about, we're going to spoil. LeVar, did you watch it?
Yes, I watched both movies.
All right. Perfect. All right. Special guest. He gets to go first. Mr. King David, sir. What are you watching these days? And go tell the people. I have to go yell at my puppies because I don't know if you can hear them in the background.
Yeah, a little bit.
Going crazy.
Because they speak English?
Yeah.
They're going to learn English tonight. But go ahead.
The wife and I we're watching Inside Man on Netflix, which is really hilarious because they're doing it now. Before it used to be overt, like like how they would do stuff, but they would do it in a manner that you wouldn't catch it. Now the convert is over with and the overt is there, and they're actually telling you what they're doing with the government, what they're trying to do this way, what they're lying to you about this way.
Inside Man?
Yeah. It's on
isn't that a movie? Like
but it's on Netflix though.
Oh, is this okay. I distinctly recall there's the Denzel vehicle. A great movie.
Yeah.
Okay. So, continue, please.
Yeah, so it's really a cartoon. It's funny as hell. I'm still watching Squid Games. As boring as everything under the sun. I find it interesting only in how people can just screw each other over, basically. That to get from one place to the next. But I'm watching the new He-Man series, which I find to be a little bit distasteful.
What series are we talking about? I'm sorry,
The new He-Man
back.
series.
Which one?
That's
There's
on
a few of them
Netflix.
running
All
at
right,
the same
so
time.
it's one where the prince
It's the more
got
cartoony
lost.
one.
Yeah, it's the new cartoon.
Okay.
The prince got lost, and they found him, and they split up the powers of He-Man, and he spread.
So basically, it's the He-Man Power Rangers edition.
Yeah, it's the He-Man
Yeah.
inclusion edition.
Yeah.
All right, because everything is about inclusion, but it's a reimagining and retelling of an old story to get the younger children in. And I really don't think children watch cartoons anymore. I honestly believe it's more of us adults watching these cartoons, to pick and prod about what we don't like about certain things.
Yeah.
But other than that, we that's what we watched, and then I watched the Eternals, and I saw Harder They Fall. So,
all right, cool. Mr. K. Oh well, LeVar, what are you watching?
LeVar, yeah. You back?
Step away for a second.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm watching the same things that you're watching. Mostly, I've just been at work, but I watched, the Eternals. I watched The Harder They Fall. I finished watching Titans, which is garbage. I know K. Asante loves that show, but it's straight.
Oh yeah, I love that show.
I love it too. So,
okay.
Like, don't even waste your time, Steve.
Sorry.
Don't waste your time.
I never was gonna waste my time on that.
Yeah, no. You don't need to start it. It's fine.
All right.
Those who are invested just gotta keep finishing.
Not me.
It's good for me though.
I enjoy it.
Like how I like it. It's it actually is very, very completely grounded in the now. And the characters, it's
cheesy as all hell.
Yes, that's the whole. What is comic book
point?
Fuck that, man.
Yeah, that's what they're for. It's like a dog with superpowers locked in a cage with kryptonite. I mean, I'm down with all of this.
Like, it was cringe. Like, the acting.
I mean, the dog's name is Crypto. Come on now.
I get all that, but the animated series be doing it right. Whatever they be doing with this live action shit is corny.
You're 100%.
Because you can't translate everything correctly.
Yes, you can.
He's right. He's right in what he's saying, right? But the animated series comes to you from a format of you already know these characters. This TV show is coming at you as you don't know them, and they're introducing it to you for the first time.
Well, they're introducing them
in two different avenues.
Whatever they do, it is wrong, man.
It's wrong, indeed.
But
you finished it. You finished it, right?
I finished watching every episode.
Yeah, and he's gonna watch the next season. I'm the only one that's holding out strong.
Exactly.
All right, Mr. K.
I'm not going back and watching the first 3 seasons.
I don't believe you.
Whatever.
But Mr. K. Asante, what are you watching?
So I didn't watch too much because I took the kids to Disney. Don't do that.
Oh, bless
him.
Wait, did you get the lightsaber like we discussed?
No,
I did not get the lightsaber.
It's not out yet.
No. You can actually. There's actually a store you can go build your own lightsaber.
No,
but
not
it's in the
that
Hollywood
crap.
Studios one.
Not that crap. The new one. The new one that actually Disney is promoting, the ones that they're going to use on the cruise ship, the ones that actually come out. No, the ones that you build.
The one you build is kind of.
Yeah,
cheapy.
I know.
Yeah.
No.
But that's also in Hollywood Studios, which I did not go there. We went to Magic Kingdom because I'm with little ones. They don't know the movies, so
it costs a lot of money.
It is what it is.
Okay, tell me about the one you built, King. I need to understand this lightsaber.
No, it's not the one you build. It's the one he's talking about is the one that the replicas that will be used on the cruise ships and all that, and they are as lifelike as they've been ever able to make them.
Yeah,
the ones that we were talking about before, the ones you build, you put the kyber crystals in and all that.
Yeah.
When it's all said and done, it's cute. But it's not real. It doesn't really exude that quality.
It's already extended, and then you turn the light on. It's just the same ones that you've been buying from FX and all that other stuff, but you build it there. So you put your own hilt together. It's like that video game that came out, and you build your
Jedi Fallen Order.
Jedi
Fallen Order, yeah.
And you get to build your lightsaber there. It's the same exact thing, but they do it in real life. But this sword stays out. The new one actually extends from the hilt, which is crazy.
And they
and
only
that's not
sell.
going to be cheap.
It's not gonna be cheaper to hell. No.
Do they only sell that at Disney World, or will they only sell that at Disney? Okay,
yes,
I think you'll be able to buy it, but it's not out yet. So yeah.
Oh no, I'll tell you exactly how I'm going to buy it. I'm going to send Kay Asante over to Disney World when it comes out, and then he's going to get it, and I'll PayPal him, and he will mail it to me.
Hey. By then, hopefully, the world will be open, and you can come and visit the place your damn self.
Well, the wife and I is going to probably go to Disney World next year, and I said no kids allowed.
Wow, that's how you do it, bro. That's how you do it. Oh,
my first time to Disney, she thought we was going to take the grandkids.
He's like, this is my childhood. F your childhood.
Exactly. On God. Yeah. On God.
Living my best life.
On God. I told her we're
going to stay through you little dirty crumb snatchers.
We're gonna stay in the deluxe cruise spaceship thing. I think it's 5,000 for the 2 nights that we're gonna stay there. I don't care how much we got. I don't care. We got to pay.
And so that y'all understand that $5,000 stay. That means every person they come across is in the Star Wars universe, and they're in character all day, every day.
Yes.
Nobody breaks character.
Money's worth.
You got to pay $5,000 a night.
Yeah, I'm taking Adderall.
You know. But yes, don't do it like I did.
I would go on that cruise and then fall asleep for most of it.
No, because I would hook you up with Adderall. $5,000, you better keep your eyes open and no shut up.
No, I know. Okay, Mr. Kay Asante, what are you watching? I want to move through this so we can get to the
no worries. Real quick. I will say I finished watching the animated movie. I think LeVar actually put me on to it. He reminded me. Injustice. I finished watching that. It's actually pretty good. I really liked it.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, there were certain leaps that were kind of shortly taken. You know, he goes from being a mass murderer to going, "Oh, I understand my ways." Really, like in a really short span of time, to the point where it was almost like, "Well, we're at the end of time now. Let's get to it." You know, it almost seemed a little short lived there, but just to get him there, the whole journey was quite good. It was very entertaining. Yeah, I'll say that. And I enjoyed it. It was very cool.
It wasn't long enough for me to get bored.
And I also watched the movie I finally watched, which after I heard all the bad reviews, I opted not to watch it, but eventually I had to do it. I was in a hotel room, had a couple free minutes to watch something, that I happened to watch that. Snake Eyes. Oh man.
Oh, that's on Paramount.
What a wasted opportunity. Right? Yeah. Is it on Paramount Plus?
I think so.
I actually just watched
on 1, 2, 3 movies.
You don't promote such things.
I happened to watch it in the hotel. It's like the action scenes, all of that was great, but then they sprinkle in the whole G.I. Joe-ness, and I'm just like, nah, I like G.I. Joe, but this is not it, bro. You saw it. Y'all saw this, right?
Snake Eyes.
Nope, I need to see it.
You need to see it. Okay, well, I won't spoil it. I will say it is, if you're a person who can watch a bad movie and still appreciate it for what it is, watch it. The action scenes are great.
Like if you got 2 hours to waste, check it out.
The action scenes are actually genuinely great. They have great fighters in there, and they really put it to work. But everything around it makes you just go, I know these guys. I know this story. Y'all could have done better, But it was still entertaining to watch for what it was, But I finally caught that, and I actually
up to animate. So yeah.
When they do it right, and then you see them do it so wrong, you're just like, come on, guys, you could have just done it so much better, And then lady, what's her face? Like when they start like littering other G.I. Joe characters in, and it's just really cheesy. It didn't work. It didn't work. But I do appreciate watching it. I hope they make another one and they do a better job. But
Scarlet and Storm Shadow.
Yeah, Scarlet and Storm Shadow, and yeah. Call me Storm Shadow. Yeah, okay. Okay.
I was going to ask you something about the movie until I realized I don't care. But
I realized I don't give a crap. Continue.
So what I've been watching is my 15-year-old got me into watching the show You on Netflix.
Oh no.
So I'm watching that with the missus right now. And
YOU as in you?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. See, the way she sold it to the missus was it's like a telenovela, but with white people.
Yep.
And that was apparently a good thing. So now I'm watching You.
Oh, and I'm watching Baki Hama.
I need to get to that. But I don't like that it's not a continuation of Grappler Baki or the one they did before, because it was finally like he's about to fight his father, and then it's like tune in for the next time.
It is
okay, because it seemed like they were showing him as a kid in the trailer.
No, it is when you see it.
Okay,
they threaded the needle.
It's a direct continuation to what transpired and his father accepting his legitimacy to challenge him.
But so it goes right from that tournament with a last.
It goes from that tournament into something else.
Okay.
And you're not going to be disappointed.
Okay.
And to continue on that trend of things that continue, odd enough, I just happened to be watching it because I wanted something for the kids. I'm watching the new continuation of the Animaniacs. Yeah, I said that. And believe it or not, y'all old people need to watch that show. It is great. It is just great. Continue.
Thundercats.
The Thundercats spoof had me rolling, bro. Had me rolling. That and the what do you call it? Fresh Prince of Bel-Air thing they did. Absolutely hilarious. I'm sorry. Continue.
That was one of my favorite shows coming up.
So, there's you, and then what else? There's another damn show I'm watching. Foundation, which I completely fell out of love with, and it was a love-hate relationship to begin with. But I don't know if you noticed, the production value is getting cheaper and cheaper as the show moves on. That battle on Terminus was terrible. That was like CW level budget with that.
Yeah, it was a little bit of this, and then they jumped to the.
Yeah, it's like here's the old man walking in the middle of the like clearly green screen shots fired. I'm like, what happened to all that money you put in?
Well, I think I'm a few episodes further than you. They're saving up that money for other bigger things, and there are bigger things ahead of you. Pause.
I just hate.
Thank you.
I just hate all of I just feel like it's horribly miscast. I feel like they tried to be way too. I don't know. They just went to J. Crew and picked all of the cast members, and it's really like it's not good. I'm sorry,
not good.
It's not. This is like it really turned into the 100. You know that show on CW?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen like 2 episodes of that. You keep referencing the 100. You watched a lot of that, didn't you?
It gets worse as you go. So, so yeah, Foundation. I also finished The Servant on Apple TV. And
I haven't seen that. That's on my list.
Really
I'm watching
good.
Invasion, but I haven't seen The Servant.
M. Night Shyamalan, but he's not directing it. He set the premise up, which is the only thing I think they should let him do going forward. Set up a good premise. Give the initiative to execute. I think. I don't know. I think it's really good. Check it out. It's like a weird mystery, and you don't know if it's supernatural or not. And every time you think this is clearly supernatural, and they give you something to say, no, here's the explanation. But then it's like, okay, but what if it is though?
Eventually it'll become supernatural.
Too many coincidences for it not to be. And I think that is the draw of that show. And just the real premise is there was this lady who she is husband and wife. The Servant.
Okay. The Servant.
Apple TV. Right. So husband and wife.
Apple TV.
Yeah, I know. I got it free with the iPhone. I haven't paid for Apple TV yet. But
you just have to keep buying phones.
Oh no, they got the new thing now. That
What's
they
that?
like this. Okay, so what Apple learned is the same thing that Samsung learned in the beginning. I got like Samsung forever. Every time a new Samsung come out, they say send my old phone, I get the new one. Same thing. Apple has that now, like Apple for life or something like that. Every new iPhone that comes out, you just send back your old one, and they send you the new one.
You'll be paying them forever. It's like indentured servitude.
It is exactly what it is. They are doing it anyway.
Yep. There you go. But so The Servant, husband is a Top Chef Gordon Ramsay type dude.
I know what you're watching with the woman, right?
Yeah, with the fake baby
thing? Oh yes. Oh, you're crazy.
You just spoiled fake
Oh,
babies.
no.
What?
You're
What's good?
crazy.
No. So hold on a minute. So now the wife, she was like a newscaster, right?
Yeah.
And so everything seems normal, and then she goes to go pick up the baby, and it's a doll, but she's treating the baby like it's really alive. So it turns out that she has basically created this reality because their kid died, right? The baby died, and so then the husband is going along with it because he doesn't want his wife to have a psychotic break. So now she's getting a nanny, and he goes to explain to everybody who comes by, like, look, this is her way of coping. We lost our kid, right? Just go along with it, and I'll pay you, more than any nanny.
But otherwise
makes, right?
than that, she's a normal individual who goes to work and does her.
She doesn't leave the house.
Okay.
Because she got lady, the baby.
Right. So now they find one who they think is gonna work. They hire her. She's a live-in. The husband says, "Yeah, don't worry about this. I know it's crazy, but I just need this for my wife to get through this tragedy we've been through." And then the next day, the husband hears an actual baby cry. And then he goes upstairs, and the new nanny is holding a baby.
Like a real baby.
Yeah, and the doll is gone. Right? And then the wife is just going on like never the wiser. She's like, see, my baby always was alive.
So now the question is, who's crazy, him or her?
But this is the point. It's a really good show. I'm telling you. It's called The Servant. Find it where you can. It's 2 seasons in.
It's on Apple TV.
Like I said, where you can.
Okay.
What he's telling you is bootlegged.
Yeah.
I said no such thing, sir.
I can't tell you to technically do so, but bootlegged.
The Servant. I'll put that on the list. Good sir.
It's funny as hell. He's crazy.
So there's that, and then I can't get through the first episode of Invasion. Way too boring. All right,
bro. Let me tell you something about The Servant. Okay, the premise.
Not The Servant. The Invasion.
I'm sorry. The Invasion. My apologies. The premise, fantastic. The world is ending all around you in little like if you thought about, hey, what would happen if aliens just showed up and started the invasion? Right? You're seeing it happen. And what do we spend our time doing? We spend our time with some dude who got tired of his wife and now is messing around with another lady. And now, of course, the invasion is happening. They have to get out of that house and escape. But, wife found out that she's being cheated on. So the whole thing is this telenovela about him cheating on her. And I'm like, I might have
Does it remind you of The Leftovers?
No, because The Leftovers
did that really well.
Sure, but The Leftovers understood the large premise that they were dealing with. So although they spent some time with the main characters really getting their emotions and getting the feelings out, they also showed you what happened to the world on a grand scale and what it meant to the world. This is like, oh yeah, we'll show you that stuff, but give us a few minutes to talk about these little people, like this kid who's being bullied by his other school classmates.
All the stuff you don't care about in the
all the shit you don't care about. While the world is burning around you, I'm like, come on, people.
Okay, all right, yeah. See, that's why I couldn't get my frustration. And then the last thing is Dr. Mind. Okay. Oh, is anybody watching Finch? Did anybody watch Finch? I
was going to ask that question. It's on my list. I haven't seen it yet.
Nope.
Good so far. It is like I Am Legend meets Castaway. And
so I Am Legend
without the zombies.
With Tom Hanks.
Like, yes. Okay. I Am Legend with Tom Hanks, basically, and a dog. So there's that. Oh, I don't know. I've been on an Apple TV kick recently.
Clearly.
So that is what I am watching now. I would like to get to the meat and potatoes. So, do we want to start with Eternals or The Harder They Fall? Let's take a vote.
I'll pause it real quick and say I literally just got out of the theaters like an hour ago watching Eternal, so I can have this conversation.
My thoughts are fresh.
On
my phone. That's why.
Okay, then let's do it.
Sure.
Let's go straight for Eternals. Let's go. Anyone watching? We are about to spoil Eternals. This is spoiler talk. Get out of Dodge now. You can come back later after you watch
Peace
it.
out.
I make no apologies for what is about to happen.
And I will say, if you really want to listen to the Eternals talk, but you don't want to be spoiled, you listen to the whole thing except maybe the very last few minutes of it. But you'll understand later. Continue.
This is what I'm talking about. So, Eternals. It is allegedly, according to Rotten Tomatoes, the worst MCU movie of all time.
47%.
Right?
Holy shit.
And 100% of them don't know anything about
what the hell they're talking about. Yeah.
This is what I do not see that. You cannot tell me that this movie is worse than
Captain
Iron
Marvel,
Man 2,
Thor,
the Dark World, Captain Marvel,
Black Widow.
Black Widow and Thor: The Dark World is probably my leading candidates for MCU Firestorm. And the only reason
by Firestorm he means shitstorm.
Yeah. the only reason why Black Widow doesn't hit the skid row is because they got my baby boo in there. So
Florence pew 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 pew.
She elevated that whole thing. Yeah, you're damn right.
Yeah, I'm not about the pinup girls have to be pinup girls. No, I'm
no.
She looked like she can lift something. So I'm about anyway, so that movie, are we going in on it? Yeah,
we're going in.
Okay.
Yeah. Start anywhere you want.
All you frauds out there that be talking about, it's not this and it's not that. Let me explain something. First of all, I got all 19 issues of Jack Kirby's immaculate work of the Eternals. And they canceled the first run after 19 issues, which is crazy. That's after Jack Kirby, the King Kirby, came back to Marvel from his stint on DC. Marvel and Kirby had a big problem in the beginning. And, Kirby, rightfully so, had this problem with Marvel because, he was the king. He created a whole bunch of stuff. It was his art design that actually, launched Marvel into the future with the Fantastic Four and everything. And he had a big problem with them, and he went over to DC and he made the New Gods.
Yeah, I was about to ask that. After he did that, he went over, basically did a spin-off variation and then came back, right? Yeah.
No, he didn't do the Eternals yet. He just went over there and did New Gods.
So New Gods was first.
Yeah, New Gods was first because they didn't allow him to do space like he wanted to. Kirby was out there. His artwork was out there. His artwork is like Jim Starlin artwork. Beautiful, bold, brash, colorful. Everything is great. Beautiful splashings. And he went over there and he did that. And then whatever happened with DC, and then he came back to Marvel. Marvel was like, yo, you can do your thing. And he did the Eternals. Eternals was his first original project back. And it was he created these gods. Now the gods in the Eternal comic books were the Celestials. Now the Celestials are this is how the deviants break up from the deviants to humans to Eternals. The deviants are the lower forms, and as they get older, they get more deformed, more ugly, more base. They are more in tune to war. Humankind is the balance between the Eternals and the deviants, right? So they have both genes what's inside of them where they can be so amazing, but they can also be so base and crass, right? And the Eternals actually took to the mountains and lived as gods, like on Mount Olympia and stuff like that. The Celestials worked on the primates that were on this planet to make these three species that come from the same genome, right? So this is the difference between the movie and the comic books. The movies and the comic books, the movies made you believe that they were android synthoids that were made, right?
I was going to ask you about that. What do you think of the retconning?
Yeah.
What do you think of the retconning they did there a little bit?
Well, I know what they had to do.
Repurposing, I would say.
They had to do that to tell their story, their new story for the MCU. It works in that fashion because to wrap the human brain around people not aging, and then you also have Thor, which is a god. They don't want to tear down that stuff, those gods, right? So what they're doing is they're building a universe with these characters that can be technologically advanced, because when you look at Astroth when he came in to the planet, my wife thought they were robots. Celestials are more than that, right? So your perception of what you see is a perception of your reality, how you interpret them, but they are more than like what you see,
what they picked, was depicted
in front of you, right? So they just give you the most pleasant visual of what you can interpret without your mind expanding and blowing up.
Yeah.
All right, so
that's called perceptual blindness, by the way. They talk about that in a few places.
All right, so now that we got a basic
background,
just
1 second. Just with the perceptual blindness, it's always a fun word game. You don't believe what you see what you already believe.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and your mind has to be able to contemplate it. It's a very small thing, right? You ever notice when you or one of your friends buys a car, you never used to really see it like that.
Color everywhere.
But
yeah.
After they buy that car, you notice it everywhere. And it's not that everybody bought that car at the same time. It's just that you weren't tuned into that thing. And so now that you're tuned into it, you start to see it everywhere. So the question is, what else is around us that we are just not tuned into that?
Well, you mean confirmation bias?
All of that.
Yeah,
I'm talking about actual physical things
right.
Around
you.
I'm not just talking about ideas. I'm saying things that are in your face.
The fact of the matter is, we already locked into our day. We have a thought of how our day is going to begin and how our day is going to end. Right, and we want to get from the beginning to the end with least amount of problems in between. Life happens in between, and then we get the chance to see all the other things that's around us in the day. But this film, going into this film, so I totally disregard any thoughts going into this film, and I went into this film open-minded from beginning to end. It's not as colorful as Jack Kirby's work would be. This is this whole entity within itself. And in viewing it, and this is one of the only Marvel films that the end credits are just as important as the actual base film itself,
if not more.
We'll
talk about who that voice was later.
Yeah, it's almost like it's the ties that bind. Without that, there'd be very little ties that bind.
Exactly. So
she made her own film, and then they decided to kind of jackboot a little bit of the MCU in at the end.
So she's not real. She's earthy. So
Chloe Zhao, you're talking about?
Yes, Chloe Zhao. Yeah.
So the movie felt earthy and grounded. It felt grounded in a way that Marvel just didn't care to hold your hand. I knew when they were really out there with the sex scene.
With the sex scene, when you seen what's his name, Icarus and Cersei, I was like, they're going full on banging in an MCU movie and a comic book movie. I didn't need to see that. Personally, it's like, I don't need to know superhero sexuality. I just want to see y'all do heroic shit. I don't give a shit about who you're banging or nothing, but I don't feel that added anything to the movie. But when I saw that, I was like, this is a very different Marvel film.
Yeah.
You know?
See, remember what I say to you, Everborn? I said they yada a lot of what MCU lovers would like to see, and then spent a lot of time on the things that made people go, and that may rub folks the wrong way.
Well, those things are prevalent in comic books. Sexuality is prevalent in comic books. We may not want to address it, or we may what you said, blindness. What kind of
perceptual blindness?
Perceptual blindness to it. But She-Hulk was banging everything that moved in every book. Right? But I did. But then you also had Spider-Man that was chasing every tail that particularly.
Hey man, Black Cat and Mary Jane were hot.
Right. Black Cat, Mary Jane, Gwen Stacy, I mean, and the list goes on. Silver Sable, you know, So let's not act like these superheroes haven't been simps for these women forever. Superman and Wonder Woman, Superman and Lois Lane. So Batman and Catwoman. So sexuality
Batman
has
and
been
Wonder
prevalent.
Woman. Maybe Batman and Lois Lane.
Yeah.
You know how Bruce do.
Yeah.
That right there is a problem. Turn your man crazy. But
Justice, baby, injustice.
That's the real reason for injustice.
Sexuality has been there, but it hasn't been addressed in a Marvel film.
Yeah, never in the
this
MCU
fashion.
like this. Yeah,
They have
true.
always did the Tony Stark is laying in the bed with a T-shirt with Pepper Pot, and she's wearing a
It's always alluded to, and there's like sexual tension, but they don't really full on show anything.
But this was skin on skin.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, so the hand holding is over. Marvel is done holding your hand. I knew they were done holding your hand when the main hero, the protagonist, the guy that is Superman, turned to them and said, I will kill all of you, and there's nothing that you can do to stop me.
He basically turned into this guy from Invincible Pops.
That was
Omni-Man.
Omni-Man or what's his name from
Homelander.
Homelander.
Yeah, he turned into the protagonist of The Boys.
But see, this is the perception that people have when.
But really, Omni-Man is how Omni-Man killed all of the 7 or whatever.
Spoilers.
We
ain't here for that.
The fear of this omnipotent character realizing that I've always been in check, but I know I have, and I can kill y'all asses at any point in time, was a realization that Marvel would have never let go before. Imagine Thor saying that, or the Hulk saying that, right? So now that I'm noticing that this is a film that is setting up the next generation of Marvel films, this is the precedence here, right? Where we're gonna really go into these books now. We're gonna really do these books now. When they went with, they changed some of the characters up. My favorite character, Makai, the runner, she's a guy in the books.
Yeah.
All right. But the sensation of speed, I didn't really care because I never thought I'd see these characters on screen ever. Anyway,
can I talk about that for a second, though?
Yes, sir.
The movie felt very much to me like a DC movie,
a good DC
done by Marvel. Yeah.
And even reference a bunch of DC characters.
No, but to that
even
point,
Superman.
Just one thing, real quick.
This is how you do it.
Hold on a minute. I know she's not faster than the Flash.
She is.
That was the best. That was the best iteration of Flash I've ever seen.
The way they showed off her powers and her power set.
Yes.
Not that stupid run like Ezra Miller.
Anything that DC has done with the Flash on screen ever.
Yes.
Like that is how you show a speedster.
Yeah, and the fisheye lens with which they capture it, in addition to the speed and the theme like thread, the gold thread that runs through all, it was expertly
and how
done,
she used her speed to kind of build, because she's moving so fast that gave her enough velocity to actually hit Icarus. And real quick, I will say with the gender swap was cool. I had no issues with it. I really appreciated that she was a deaf actor, and it didn't even become a thing.
Like the Rainbow Coalition,
they just kept but how they,
though.
Yeah, exactly. How they implemented it, and it wasn't like let's stop and give the deaf person her moment. No, she just spoke like everybody else, and she just used sign language, and they all kept with it. I thought that was a very good implementation of that. It was like, that's how it's done.
Inclusion quotient, everybody was represented, every demographic.
Well, they needed to, because remember, they're Eternals, so they lived throughout the ages, and they were on all corners of the earth, so they had to blend in with.
It's like Transformers camouflage,
right? The way humanity is made up, they were made up from all DNA of humanity. So you had the Hindus represented, the Indians represented, you had the blacks represented.
Hollywood.
So it is what it is. I mean, it did its good storytelling, because you had every race depicted there, but they are the DNA of every race. So it should have been included in that fashion.
So okay, just there's little things that bothered me.
Oh,
right?
can I say one thing?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I have a theory.
Talk about it.
I have a theory that Disney is purchasing WB.
Oh boy.
Not
Oh,
before
boy.
Michael's off, but we can have that.
Oh boy. No. Let him go there. Let him go. Go ahead.
WB Games.
I'm not talking about WB Games either.
Yeah, he's not talking about WB Games either.
And the reason why, there's absolutely no reason ever for you to mention your competition,
in the movie.
And he referenced them, and he did it. They did it specifically. That's Superman, Daddy. He was shooting beams out his eyes,
yes.
And he had a cape.
There's Batman references also.
There's the Batman reference.
Right.
Yeah. True.
This is what I'm saying. So these references are indicated, and Kevin Feige and these guys are very stickler to every word and every line that comes out of their mouths. They didn't mention Spider-Man and other stuff, and they didn't show them for very good reason until
they had them.
Because hey, based on what he's saying, think about it. It's very true. They crossed their T's, dot their I's on everything, and they did not allow. Well, Chloe Zhao was able to successfully forego almost all of the MCU, but they were able to get that DC lines in there from, like, damn, every single word is
brothers said that they always wanted to do a Marvel versus DC and Secret Wars. The Russo brothers signed a contract. What was it? A couple of months ago?
Man, I've always wanted to see that movie, but after that, what do you do? Where do you go from there once the Justice League meets the Avengers?
Wow.
Where do you go from there? It's over.
Both properties, go wherever you like.
So a couple of things.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
I'll come back to that point.
That's crazy, bro.
But I had a problem with Fastos.
Okay.
Right. And I do think, and I always say this, like the MCU is its own thing. A lot of people think the MCU needs to be Earth 616. It is not.
It's not.
It is its own thing. It's its own canon. They're telling their version. Same way you had Amazing Spider-Man and Spectacular Spider-Man and all those things. These are different.
Yeah, that's why they can discombobulate characters, and it works in that world. Yeah,
and they're going to adapt it, and they need to be true to the universe they're creating. But with Fastos, I don't know why this really upset me, but I feel like he is the black character, right?
Why you have to be a fish?
No, that's not what I'm talking about. Humanity wasn't worth saving only after Hiroshima. Why wasn't they not worth saving after slavery and the slave trade?
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason
make that make sense.
Fetish.
Okay, you perceive him to be black.
He's black.
No,
I didn't perceive him that way.
No.
He's not black. That's just how the Celestial made him look.
But we just said that they're built from the DNA of humans, right?
Yeah, but being black, what you're describing there is part of a lived experience that he was never a part of.
It means nothing.
Yeah, he's basically the Martian. He's like Martian Manhunter without living among the people. He never really lived among the people.
He did live among the people. He'd been there for thousands of years.
But until much later,
speaking.
I think he's speaking to somebody on.
He never identified as black.
Well, but hold on a moment. Until the leader split them off and let them after Babylon. Remember, after Babylon 575 AD, right?
Yes.
That's when they were allowed to go live their lives, right? And he was kind of bumming around with technology until Hiroshima, right? He was not. He has never lived the black experience like that.
I'm not talking about the black American experience.
No, you're talking about the
black period
on the screen and why they chose to use that character.
Yes, it wasn't until they broke up.
We're talking at the same time. We gotta do one at a time. LeVar, you go ahead, and then King, you. Yeah. What are you saying, LeVar?
Go ahead.
He was always around the Celestials. He never lived the black experience or through any of that. So he does not you know, they never got involved. Only when, you know, the deviants.
So he's Tiger Woods.
It has nothing to do with him.
All right, King.
Yes.
King, what were you saying?
No, I mean, it's just the fact that, okay, so I can dispel belief in certain things. I can take myself out of things and remove color from.
He's not black. He's OJ.
This guy's crazy. That's pretty good. To remove that from it, right? Because when I see my characters, I really don't see color, especially in this film in particular. I didn't see that. Now, what I did say when she said, "Go out to the world and find yourself, find you in this world, find what you're particularly good at, find your space," right? Everybody went and found their space wherever it was. His dejection, and I understand you should have felt that he was upset with this aspect, right? Because you felt that he should have identified with the black experience. That's impossible for you to identify with the black experience if that's not what you were raised as or grown up in, right? So it's really impossible. You have more Caucasians that can identify with the black experience because that's what they was raised around. I can get a couple of guys that were raised in Chicago in the bottoms and have that black experience, and then I can have some black guys that were raised in the Hamptons that don't have that black experience. So I understand what you're saying, and I know you're trying to correlate the two as far as why would Marvel use the only deep black character that you have right there, because okay, you have the deaf girl running that is African American.
She spent the whole time in the
tombs of Egypt, right, reading books.
So yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So she ain't definitely in it.
Yeah, so she doesn't count.
Right? So he's in the world. I know what you're saying. And your outcry is the leading black man again is at this point where they have to take him and put a skirt on him and put him in a place where he's effeminate. He's a place not as strong as. This is the part where
he didn't come off as the bottom in the relationship to me.
Because he did say his husband, but relax. And he did have on 2 earrings. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right. And I don't care about that part. But this is the part that I do care about is the perceived strong character, which is the white character, which is Icarus. He had him on his knees in the sand, face down, and was dominating him. When he explained to him, boss, all right. When he said to him, boss, it feels good because I always wanted to take you down in this manner. So, him doing this.
Hold on. Let King make the point. Make the point.
Him doing this in this fashion kind of equals the scales, in my opinion. Right? For anybody having a problem with his gender and the fact that he's black, they showed you that the so-called leading dominant heterosexual white male, which is supposed to be the alpha in this category here, was dominated by this situation.
Yeah. No, I hear you, Everbond, on the meta narrative.
Messaging behind
the meta narrative. Yes.
Well, see, I went in as pure as heart. Like I'm a little snowflake here, man. Yeah. Like you're.
He's focused on the meta narrative.
These things.
His meta narrative. He's all about the meta narrative, but within the confines of the story, there's no fault. There's no fault to be had there. There really isn't. There's no fault to be had within the confines of the story.
Right.
If you have a point, it's the meta narrative of it. I will see where you're going with that. The meta narrative speaks different. I hear you on that. Yeah.
Okay. All I'm saying
He almost had him with a ball gag in his mouth.
If there is a human
This man.
if there is a human atrocity where you lose faith in mankind, why is that atrocity Hiroshima versus the other thing? And why is it specifically? Because there's no problem race bending the characters. There's no problem gender bending the characters. If that was going to be his role, just for the sake of optics, and don't tell me they don't, hold on a minute. Don't tell me they don't care about optics, because they made very purposeful decisions with the Speedster and with Fastos to say that this is an all-inclusive movie. And I know Fastos is black in the comics.
They should have definitely made, this guy protest slavery if he's the black one.
And now I can't interfere, but now I have no faith.
It's like
Hiroshima, any human atrocity to say I have no more faith in human.
Because really, when the advancement of technology with guns is what made them enable slavery. So how didn't that bother him?
No.
Y'all in your black fields. I'm sorry.
See him. That bomb is a direct result of him. That nuclear energy that he told
gunpowder.
But the nuclear.
If white people didn't have guns, there would be no slavery.
All right. So remember in the movie when they were shooting the guys and he was real pissed off, and Druid was really pissed off because they were just killing them, and he was like, "This is genocide now. This has absolutely nothing to do with winning a fight. This is absolute genocide now." Because he saw that these guys had guns and these guys had knives, right? And this was just a whole out slaughter. He was pissed off then. Drew was a little bit more mad at this situation. He was pissed off then because his technology helped him advance a little bit further. But the further of this technology, the level of mass destruction of Hiroshima changed the way that we viewed war. It changed the way that how sanctions and stuff has went out, laws and everything. The world gathered around each other to make sure that atrocity never happened again. So we have never had another nuclear bomb go off in another war. So what he was explaining was the magnitude of that situation made him lose faith in humanity.
Fact about humanity. If you really look at the war and how it played out at that time,
America,
the Japanese were already on the ropes and they would have surrendered. There was no reason, but it was to show the rest of the world, don't mess with us. Yes. It was to show those people were sacrificed.
Yes. It's like we have the biggest.
That's not the thing that won the war. The war was already won. But anyway,
my point is, toy and he just
it's like if you fuck around, this is what we'll do to you.
They spent $1 billion and they went around the world after that.
That was the best commercial they could have ever put out. Just the image of that, so they could play it throughout all time. If you mess with America, this is what will happen.
And they went around telling the rest of the world what to do until the other people got their own nuclear power.
I'm pretty sure this episode will be demonetized.
But anyway, my point is this. My point in all of this is imagery is very important. Imagery is what stays with us past the plot of a lot of these things.
That's why he's always stuck on the meta narrative. Yes.
Let me ask you a question. What about the gay kid that's growing up right now? The gay.
I'm not talking about the gay part.
No, I'm just saying. The gay black kid that's just growing up right now sees this movie. He sees himself in that position that can actually dream of actually having a family and tucking in a kid at night. Sometimes our story isn't the bookend. You understand? Like for the whole bookshelf. Our story is a little bit different. But my whole thing is, I didn't see anything wrong with how any of the characters was depicted, because true to self, that they were true to self. Now, I know you're saying his atrocity, but as a technical guy, right? The ultimate was that bomb where we'll make him say, damn it, man, that's enough. I done seen you do the gun thing, individual kills, but this
you do the slavery thing. That didn't bother me.
But they didn't use technology to get there.
Him because the other white dude has the power to stop people from doing any of that shit. So why didn't he jump in? Right. He has the actual power to have stopped any of that shit at any time. At any time. It's just until he said, okay, enough is enough, but slavery wasn't enough for him.
It's just that he's black, so you expected more blackness from him. Yes. That's your problem. That's the meta narrative.
He could have talked to that
what
dude
about
since that dude was already on the wave of stopping this bullshit. Yeah, so he should have worked with that dude to stop slavery.
What about the Holocaust?
That was already around the time of the atomic bomb.
But I'm saying that stuff could have been stopped as well. You know, all this stuff.
They had a mind controller. He could have stopped all of that.
His thing was the technological aspect of the bomb. That was what precipitated. This was what made
his direct creation caused that.
Right.
Now, if you can show me a thing in history where some direct technological advancement causes slavery, that's different. And LeVar, what you're saying about without the guns there'd be no slavery, not true. I am from a place where let me finish. I am from a place where they literally took some of us, paid some of us to bring our own brothers and sisters out.
We gotta do one at a time.
Yeah. I'm from a place where they literally took some of us, lied to them to bring the others to the ships. There were no guns in place because if the white man shows up with a gun, you got them. Instead, you got one of your own to bring the others out.
Guns didn't do that. Allowed them to keep people in slavery.
But the direct correlation of the technology to the atrocity wasn't there. What King is saying is absolutely true. The direct correlation of that bomb that he created led to this atrocity. So he can feel something about that.
I get that. All of that works narratively. That's not the point that I'm making.
Yes, you're talking the narrative, the meta narrative.
They did not have to cast him as a black.
Everborn is always about that meta narrative. We've had this conversation before. You're right.
They could have casted it in a different direction, and they are not. Remember, this is not Earth 616.
And it always tends to happen that the black dude becomes the sacrificial lamb in some way.
They didn't have to make him that character.
I get it.
They could have made him guilty.
Anyway, I want to move on and get to the rest of the movie. That was just a little nitpick that I had. This is a film.
And I knew you would have that nitpick. I knew it. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh, we're going to talk about this.
I do appreciate that the film tackles very big ideas like the nature of our existence and where and how all of this experience that is life in the universe, how it all started and how it works, and that we are a part of a cosmic circle of life, not just
a quick question about that, Everborn, what you're saying. I've heard some people, and I didn't fully understand it until I saw it myself. I heard some people complaining that making it all because of the Eternals. Oh, well, this happened because of them. Oh, that they've been in the background enabling or turning the crank. That kind of takes agency away from humanity a bit, and people have been complaining about that. What are your thoughts on that?
No, it doesn't take agency away from humanity, because we just saw that humanity did stuff that they didn't agree with, that they didn't help with, and they were told to stay in the background. So and that is not even, that's not their purpose. Their only purpose is to stop the deviants from killing the humans, so that the celestial can be born out of the planet. Earth and every other planet with life on it is like a zygote.
Yep.
Right. And these celestials will be born, and those celestials will die in order to create new stars that new galaxies will form around. Like that
the circle of life.
Billions more lives will exist from this planet dying.
And that's
so. Isn't that selfish of them to stop that then?
But this is why they wanted to delay it until they figured out. And Icarus was right. Believe it or not.
Another thing,
and look at me agreeing with the straight white man.
That makes it way different. The fact that he committed suicide.
Did he though?
Well, he flew right into the sun. You don't know that.
Did he though?
I mean,
you don't know that.
To take it back to the story of Icarus and flying too close to the sun and whatnot. But he flew directly into the sun. I don't know if he's going to come back reborn. But we'll see.
First, there's thousands of Icaruses, right? So
and his memories are copied to some place.
Yeah, so he's in a data bank. He's uploaded.
This is again the MC fake death universe.
Yeah, well, we don't die anyway; we multiply.
Right. Like Baby's kids.
I don't
like Baby's kids. Good reference.
He doesn't have a perceived weakness.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So
yes, he does. Cersei.
God.
The biggest sense of Miles Morales in the game.
And truth be told, there were a lot of weaknesses that you saw. This man, without his eyes being usable, he is susceptible to anybody and everywhere. He was not that superpowered. Like he got owned many a times in this movie.
And I'm glad they did that. I'm glad that
He really did
that because
he really wasn't the Superman character people kept pushing on him. Yeah, he can fly. Yeah, he's got the laser vision. But at the end of the day, he's super strong. But he did get owned quite often, more than you've seen Superman get owned.
But they kind of had to team up to do that. I think he can take out any individual.
Individually,
they said he was the strongest of them all.
Right,
and some of the deviants even owned him a little bit.
The fact that all of them have the same power,
I feel like he was holding
what they master in and train in, that makes that power set grow. Right. So
say that again. They all have the same base, but some of them diversify based on what.
When they're born, they have all have the ability to fly, super strength, beams, all that stuff. Everything there. Okay. What they master is exactly what they become good at. Right, so you have to hone your skills in order to accentuate it to take it to peak level. So
what you're saying is all of them have at least the base level of strength. Yeah. They all have at least so then why is Cersei such a weak person? Like besides what she creates, she was tossed around like a rag doll.
MCU made her this.
Is she weak though?
Yeah,
because if she has the power, she can kill all of them. If she wanted to, she could have just touched this motherfucker Icarus and turned him in the air.
But they all can transmute. You understand? This is
in the comics. They can.
In the books,
in the comics,
right?
Yeah.
So what they did was they took that away to make them a master of each singular thing, and they also paired them up. That's why they made the little joke about knowing the arc. Their ship was basically an arc, right? If the pyramid shape, this is wild, crazy. The whole visualization is nuts, but they were pairing them off. Right, that's why Sprite was so pissed off, because Sprite pair off was with this guy, but they made her
Icarus, but they made her too young.
Right, exactly. So but she was always going to be loyal to that dude,
to Icarus. Yeah.
So,
but if that's the case, who was Cersei supposed to be with?
The Indian.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Okay. Camille Nanjiani.
Yeah. He kind of stole the show with every line. He is a hilarious dude, even in this one.
You know who stole the show?
Oh yeah,
is his
workout wise. Who? His butler. Yes.
His butler.
Yes.
That dude was funny.
Yo, he put a tear in my eye.
By the way,
he put a tear in my eye at the end when he turned him
out. When he says thank you. Yeah. It was beautiful. It really was. It was really great. Yeah.
So can we just take a moment to acknowledge that Thanos was even more right than we thought based on this movie now?
Yeah, he was.
Right
now, do you think this is a retcon? Are they threading that needle of, he knew this was going to happen, that's why he wanted to do that?
No, and I'll tell you why. Even in the comics, Thanos and Star Fox's parents are Eternals.
Mm-hmm. They're Eternals.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So now
Thanos is an Eternal as well.
Right, exactly. So Thanos is an Eternal, and according to MCU logic, he's a robot.
Eternals are robots.
According to the MCU.
They're not going.
And Harry Styles is his brother.
Star Fox.
Hopefully they explain something, right? Hopefully they explain something.
If you procreate, you get a biological entity.
Hopefully they
why is he purple?
Something because
and have balls for a chin.
No, but there's different Celestials for different places, right? So his father is a Titan, and his mother is from, I can't remember what her name is. And I think he kills his mother in the comics.
Well, he does.
And that's the beef that him and Star Fox have.
No.
Okay. Tell me more.
The beef that him and Star Fox have? Him and Star Fox actually have no beef. That's his half brother.
Okay. Right? But they share the same mother.
I don't know if they're gonna make him that. No. I don't know if they're gonna make him the full mother. All right. Okay. So because remember, Star Fox is the son of his father. All right. They both have the same father, not the same mother, because Thanos was born first. Thanos will be the older brother, and he kills her before she can have a baby.
Okay.
All right. So when he kills her and he dissects her, and Death actually tells him to do so, it's just crazy in Thanos Rising. But I don't think that's okay. Well, what? Oh, you guys are trying to figure out why are we talking about Star Fox, right?
No. But before you get to that,
Because he's in the movie.
Before you tell us about Star Fox, so just again, not comics but MCU canon.
Right.
If Thanos is an Eternal,
he
likely
be a robot.
Right. He has to be a robot, but he has likely come to the same. By the way, now he has blood though, because he did bleed. Tony Stark made him bleed. That's interesting.
Are they robots, or do we perceive it to be robots because they were created in the way they were created?
I'm just saying they showed a scene where they had mechanical stuff inside of them.
If God exists, are we just like flesh robots? What is a robot?
No, I get that, but what I'm saying is they showed them being created,
right,
and they showed the mechanical stuff inside of them.
And they also got to be reset because they're just like Katana inside Master Chief's head. Yes. Remember when she got too much data, she started going crazy and she went nuts. So, right, so that's the same thing that
Athena went through.
Right.
Athena, not Athena.
Yeah, she made a point to say that. Now the thing is now, so he likely came to the same realization that Icarus came to.
Right.
And his answer to that was slow down the process exponentially and save everybody by taking half of the intelligent life out, which means any celestial that was brewing in any planet would now take that much longer to grow, hence buying everyone time. So Thanos was actually the hero.
Yeah.
And because the Avengers couldn't live with their failure,
Earth
brought him right back to him. So
Earth keeps doing this stuff.
We have a center of the universe complex is what it is, Steve.
Like America.
Yeah.
But
we are definitely I wonder if this show is going to be visible to anybody on YouTube at this point.
They're shutting us down. Wait till we get to the Heart of the Fall.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's going crazy.
And I do want to get there quick because I know we want to end this thing at 10 o'clock.
Yes,
so I there's so much to this film. I think it adds so many layers to the MCU. I think it ponders very large questions, and I think it feels largely individual in a sea of 24 films and 3 TV shows.
This definitely broke that formula. Yeah.
And the MCU does this every day. I think Black Panther felt very different. I think Ragnarok felt very different. I think at the time Guardians felt different. And what do you call it? Felt very different. Civil War. So they do this time and time again, and this is why I kind of don't like the lazy complaint that it's all cookie cutter. If you call the MCU cookie cutter, you're not paying attention, and you just want to follow along with what you think the cool kids are saying. But that being said, the visualization of Hashem, it was so like like it was just, I mean, awesome, not like awesome cool, but like you really felt like you were in the presence of something great, like a celestial, like just the way they did it, the way they handled the sound with the voice. And at the end, when he
shows you how
cool
Earth, Galactus is going to be.
Yes, that's what I'm coming to. It made me.
That's where I was going to go. That's what I was going to
meat rack.
Yeah.
And he wasn't. He wasn't a gas cloud
related, right?
They showed that his big face in the sky. Everybody was like, "Oh, yo!" And how he just popped in, and he's like, "You,
come here."
Yeah,
and then broke out.
Snatch your ass up here. You got something, and you.
It's like you walking over a snow globe and looking down at it, and just like, "Oh yeah, see this little thing," and then
and then he pops out. Because what I was saying at first was, how did none of the satellites or anything realize that this big thing was coming into orbit? No, he popped in and popped out.
He can be wherever he wants, whatever he wants. He created everything.
Just his head.
No, it is. It is. I just thought it was done so well.
Perfect.
In terms of, communicating the scale of that character and his sort of foreboding omnipresence everywhere. And
let me ask a quick question. Let me ask 2 questions. One for King and the second one for everybody. King, I know that the similarities between Galactus and the Celestials are mainly because of the artist that created them, right? There's similarities in looks, but not really. He's not a Celestial and all that.
No, he's not.
Do you think that when they introduce him, they'll make changes because he kind of looks similar, and audiences are a little bit more simplistic and in the MCU?
What do you mean, Galactus?
Yeah, Galactus kind of looks like a Celestial based on what the visual.
Galactus better have that same helmet that he has, that big square blocky helmet.
Because then they'd have to relate them somehow. They have to explain it somehow.
They don't have to explain shit. We know what it is.
I think they're giving you a visual language now. And I think introducing Asham and the Celestials is the thing that kind of
don't you think
we're talking over each other?
MCU folks will say they're related? Oh well, since they both kind of look the same, they must be related, which it's not the case unless they are.
Dormammu was like big and huge and in the sky or whatever, but you just saw the face.
Didn't have the same kind of. He literally, if you look at him, he has the same kind of visual language with the helmet and everything.
Well, like when they had like Tiamat coming out of the ground.
Also with the same kind of,
they're going to explain. We don't know how they're going to explain Galactus and what Galactus' purpose is. Galactus' purpose could be to be killing baby Celestials, right? Because that's his whole goal.
Yeah, he is a planet eater. Yeah, exactly.
To go to planets that have intelligent life,
his children
to eat. Yeah, basically he's the children gobbler. Pause.
Yeah,
all praise due to Allah.
Wow. I see what you did there. By the way, Gabe O, no, I do not have the same policy for movies because movies have all the bugs worked out the first time you see them.
Day one.
Games ain't the same.
That's right. Oh, and quickly, my second question.
Your first question is, just so everyone understands what you're asking, is you're wondering if, because of this visual language that they've set for the Celestials, are they just going to take the shortcut to say Galactus is another Celestial?
Is related. That's right. That's my question. That's my question.
Ego, the living planet, was made to destroy Galactus. They introduced Ego, but they gave you a smaller version that is a Celestial to explain that. So they already diverged from that whole.
They showed it in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Like this, right?
Well, but he didn't look the same. You see, he didn't have that visual language.
Trying to explain to you. So I don't believe that they're going to make him a complete adversarial entity to
the Celestials.
But they could share the same visual ear markers, but still be adversaries.
Okay.
Yeah.
And question
does that mean he's a Celestial gone rogue? And maybe he doesn't. Maybe the answer to stop Asham's plan is Galactus saying, anywhere there's a Celestial being gestated, I'm gonna go eat that planet.
I'm going to eat that planet.
So, but this part is he's not as big in scale, right? So,
so Galactus will never be as big as the Celestial.
No, never, because they dwarf him in size.
Right? Galactus can change size. Like
he changes size as he gains energy, but his energy never reaches celestial proportions in size.
Okay.
Question 2, real quick, before we move on to the next big topic of discussion.
What's happening, Bunty?
Was
it Bounty?
No, it's Bunty, man. Bunty here to worldwide Jim
Cross.
Cross. Second question, and this is for all of y'all. What is your score?
Warlord.
What is your score?
Strong 8.
I gave it a 9.
8. Okay. And Mr. LeVar, what do you think?
It was all right. It wasn't
I
even
need a
whack.
number, brother, man.
It was better than
My
Dune.
score.
Dude.
That's my score. Better than Dune.
Oh, stop it.
It was
Come on,
definitely better
LeVar.
than Dune. Like,
Give me a number. Come on.
bounds. Even though it ended on a cliffhanger as well, it was a better cliffhanger.
True. So give me a number, bro. You got a 9, you got an 8. Where you stand?
6 and a possible.
Spades.
Okay, well, there you go. I will give it an 8.5. I'll give it an 8.5. I really enjoyed what I watched, and recency bias can definitely play a part because, like I said, it's fresh in the mind. I just came home.
No, I just think like it is. I love that it kind of stands on its own.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll get a sequel, maybe it doesn't. But I heard it did bigger numbers than Shang-Chi.
Oh, I'll tell you anecdotally, I was there at 2:00, a 2:00 showing, and the theater was packed. 2:00. I'm trying to go in there. Humans are not there. 2 p.m.
Maybe.
No, I'm looking at the scores and you know,
buddy,
nobody knows what's happening in this.
Buddy,
screw the scores. Look at the numbers, the money.
BS walk.
Yeah.
Marvel knew this was
2 p.m.
The training wheels are off.
Yeah.
Let's get to these. The reason why I got a 9 for me is it got an 8 in movie totality. That extra point was from the end credits.
The end credits. That's right.
Well, see, it got a 8 for me because I took away a point for Fastos. But yeah, let's get to these end credits.
I would have liked it better if I didn't watch it bootleg on my phone.
Oh, you're wild.
Well, maybe you shouldn't do that then. That's your problem, isn't it?
How about you stop talking to your phone?
You know? And how about you stop putting your business out there like that?
Yeah,
how about that?
Listen, I watch the movies how I watch the movies. I can't get to the movie theater all the time. I had to watch it so I could talk about it.
I feel you.
Yeah, I told him he had to watch it today because we were going to spoil it.
Yeah, I feel you.
So
I had to go see that too.
He took one for the team.
So when he goes to the movie theater, I guarantee you he's going to give it 2 more points.
On the bigger screen, it is much more grand to see.
All right, so let's get to the end credit scenes because we're only going to have a half hour left to talk about.
First end credit scene. Pip the Troll popping in. Dear God, I lost everything right there because that character is probably the most essential character to Thanos and to what he was doing. But then you can bring across the Magus. You're going to bring across Adam Warlock. They already told you about Adam Warlock, so he's essential to that whole Guardians of the Galaxy.
As Adam Warlock again?
Who?
They just cast
the kid's
Adam
face.
Warlock.
I know the kid's face. I forget his name. I can find him.
I'll find out. Go ahead.
Okay. And then you have Star Fox that pops in. Star Fox is essential to the Avengers, and it links right into the Black Knight, because he comes in around that time, and Star Fox is going to be in that She-Hulk series, I believe. So these characters are essential to everything going forward in the process at Marvel. We can talk about the first end credit scene.
Okay, so first end credit scenes, we got into that a little bit. For people that didn't know, there was
his name is Will Porter.
Will Porter. Okay, yeah. He's a good actor, but like
he is. But he's done mediocre stuff.
It's not even that he's done mediocre stuff. I just think that means they're gonna go for like he's a joke character, right? Like he's not a serious character. Which
who, Adam Warlock?
Yeah. If they cast
Will Porter's been doing a lot of jokey things. He's been doing a lot of jokey things.
No, he's not a joke in the comics. I'm saying
he's not.
Will Porter is going to play him.
Okay.
Have you seen what Will Porter looks like now?
I haven't seen him recently.
He's beefed up.
As a skinny kid with a big head.
Let me tell you something.
He's not a kid no more.
Guardians of the Galaxy, the video game.
Adam
Warlock inside that game.
Wow. Yes.
He is not going to be a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, so like I said, and we talked about it a little bit, like Thanos was absolutely right. He was trying to save everyone from, after he found out the truth. That's the only explanation you can have for that. We can call it a retcon all we want, but he was very sure of his purpose, and it didn't even matter about what happened to him. And we saw that when he was just sitting in the cornfield, right? waiting for somebody to come kill him. You know.
Oh, okay. First, the name is Will Poulter.
Yes, there's an L in
Poulter.
there.
Poulter.
Poulter. Poulter.
Right.
Poulter.
Yeah,
Poulter,
you
yes.
had me look up the wrong dude. No, this guy is
Poulter.
not a
Give it.
joke.
No. I'm gonna look him up. I'll get him on
We
screen.
can put him out
Yeah,
there.
get him on
Well,
screen.
it's just his body of work speaks to something else, but he's probably trying to diversify. We
No,
suspect.
he's going to
Yeah, his body of work. His body of work has been in a very, butt of jokes kind of thing. He's got special eyebrows for that purpose.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, his body of work hasn't done him any favors. But,
yeah, he looks.
Oh yeah, no, he's matured a lot. You can definitely see he's matured a lot. It's just his body of work,
Well,
but yes, continue.
We shall see. Yeah. Yeah, I think that just gives a little bit more clarity to Thanos' vision, and just also the idea is that he will pass judgment on Earth. That is going to come back, and that is going to be a big thing. And it feels like everyone's going to have to get involved in that. And how do you fight the creator of everything? Right?
With both hands.
Hey,
so check the link I just sent. That's the latest iteration of him, probably as Adam Warlock. If you look at him, he's got that Warlock look there.
Let's see.
It's what is it like a Photoshop of him as Adam Warlock?
No. It's just a more mature version of the actor with hair, with a bit of a beard. You see where they probably saw he could do it. Because the most part of the pictures where you see him, he does not look the part. But this one, I can see it a little bit. Especially as King says, after playing Guardians of the Galaxy and seeing their version of Adam Warlock, this could do that. It could do that. And if you haven't seen that, if you haven't played it, you definitely should, because Adam Warlock is represented quite well in that game.
I'm playing that now, but then Forza came out. What are we gonna do with all of these no games, King? There's so many no games.
Well, we can't slide them over to PlayStation.
Here we go.
Okay, but yeah, moving on.
Yes.
I want to get us through this thing. So that idea that Earth will be judged, I think that's gonna connect, and maybe that was the thing. I don't know, maybe not. I don't know. What do you think? There's a connection with Shang-Chi, with the ending credits of Shang-Chi? Or will the Celestials be involved with that? Because that energy that he sort of when he used the rings, that like kind of awoke in the rest of the universe to look in this direction. Does it relate in any way, or is that a reference to something?
Well, that's Galactus.
Okay,
he's gonna probably come to the planet to find a dead Celestial. Because remember, he's turned to ice.
Okay, I'm gonna just put this out there on some meta narrative stuff, because you said you wanted to be done by 10 o'clock. We picked this movie to talk about first, so that we're gonna rush through the Black movie, which is crazy. We have talked about the harder they fall.
Full circle, baby.
For an hour and a half. If we had started with that, but I'm just saying.
I mean,
listen,
you can save the harder they fall for next week and give it its proper due, because I'm listening to the soundtrack, and the soundtrack is really
banging. Oh my God, yes.
And we're going into the second end credit scene, so we just might as well end it on the second end credit scene and just come back.
You know what? I'm not even gonna lie. Maybe we do that. We talk about the second end credit scenes, and then we go into the Kickstarter explanation, and we get out of here by 10.
So that he's not hooked by his own meta narrative petard. Ooh, well done.
You're not gonna see. We saw that right here in this 4-man show, but Disney couldn't see the optics. Come on, man.
No. They had me now, bro. You spinning it. You giving them smoke for that, but you deserve your own smoke for the same thing, bro.
Well, to be fair, this went on so long because I spent a half hour complaining about what they didn't do. Yeah. So I needed to bring light to that.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's on you.
Oh man, that was
all right. So
good, man.
You got it in your background, KSR.
It's a preview, baby. Preview. What's to come?
LeVar, your opinion on the first end credit scene?
The first end credit scene. I can't give no opinion on it because I didn't see that on the bootleg. They cut that shit out like right
That's
when
messed up. That's messed up.
what you call it happened.
No wonder you gave it a 6.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's the kind of thing where Ant-Man and the Wasp got an extra point because of that end credit scene.
Yeah.
So yeah, you would have gave it another point.
You would have. You would have.
Okay, so
I'll tell you, my whole theater erupted because
I
there
know
was a bunch
what
of young
happened,
people in there.
but I didn't see it.
A
I know
bunch of young
about the
people in there, and
Blade
they saw
the Black Knight
saw
shit and it's setting that up. And I know about that other thing that you was talking about, that dwarf character or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, Pip the Troll. Teleporting aspects brings forth Nightcrawler without having to visually see things. Absolutely incredible. He can teleport past galaxies. So now that we get to the part where the Black Knight, Dane Whitman, has the ebony blade, because remember in the movie they ask Angelina Jolie because she's playing around with the sword and she goes, "Is this the ebony blade?" She goes, "No, this is this is Excalibur." And she's like, "Oh wow, Excalibur," and he just swinging around. You already got a taste of the fact that the ebony blade is in the movie. So now when you get to Dane Whitman, he was trying to explain to her his family has a terrible secret, and that's when Ashcroft came and snatched him off the planet, and he's opening up the case because he knows the blade is actually alive, and more blood that the blade gets, the blade actually hungers and turns them into madness, right? So there's a blade, there's a shield, and there's a chalice that goes along with the ebony blade that forms the Black Knight. So I don't know if he has the shield, and I don't know if he has
reminds me
the
of
chalice.
Berserk.
Yeah,
that ebony blade.
Yeah, the blade
similar
hungers.
properties.
Rest in peace, Kintaro Mora.
Mashallah Ali.
Yeah,
as
man.
he goes to reach for this blade. Says, you ready for that, or do you sure you want to do that? Now, it's a blade and has blade behind him talking.
Yeah, and it's an ebony blade.
Blood. This is not the ebony blade. It's the ebony blade behind you.
You see how they threaded that needle right there?
Crazy. And then
King just turned into Bill Cosby.
I lost everything. Because I'm like, boy, putting.
Yeah, they had me jumping up and down in the theater when that happened. Like for real, yeah.
Boy, give me a drink.
Yes. I actually expected to hear Thanos or somebody.
They showed him,
because this man like kind of spoiled it for me. He goes, "That voice, was that the voice?" I'm like, okay, so I expect to hear a voice. So I was expecting to hear Thanos or something, and then I hear, I'm like,
yeah,
what? Like I was jumping up and down in my
desk. Gonna be his like apprentice or some shit. He gonna show him how to use the blade.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, they might in the MCU, but in the comics,
is Blade there saying, "Oh, you sure you want to do that?"
Well, in the comics, they are related. Doesn't he give him the blade back?
Yes, because it's a point in time that the Blade has the ebony blade because he's not going to hunger for blood, right?
Yes.
So it's
because he can handle that hunger.
He can handle it,
dealing with it forever.
So how does that play? Is that going to play into the Blade movie? Are they going to be in the movie together?
That's how they thread my
theory. This is my theory.
Because why else would you end it that way?
This is my theory. So the fact that they intertwining all the worlds, right? The fact that you saw Venom realize that Peter Parker is actually in the MCU, and they already told you that Venom's inside the MCU now. The fact that Morbius at the end in one of his trailers told the guy, I'm Venom.
I'm Venom.
I'm just joking. I'm Morbius. Let you know that Morbius is inside the MCU because is Venom, right? So you're acknowledging that
Superman is inside the MCU as well.
Blade is supposed to hunt Morbius at a period of time, and when he hunts Morbius at a period of time, because remember, he's supposed to be killing vampires. Morbius is the living vampire. He's supposed to be fighting Dracula. That's when Morbius actually gets the chance to fight Dracula, whatever the hell. But I believe that you're going to introduce Blade inside the end of the Morbius movie. That's my theory, and I think it's gonna come true.
Well,
here's the question: like everyone exists inside everyone's universe. The whole fact that the kid called him Superman means Superman exists in the MCU.
Or Does
That's
he
true.
exist as a comic book character?
He could
And
have just
do you
as a
see the
comic book
comics
character,
that
yeah.
they read in the MCU.
Well, but Everborn, go ahead, speak to it. I know where you're gonna go, and you're right.
All right,
There is a meta narrative. There you go.
I hate to rain on your parade, King.
And he is correct about this. Go ahead.
The way that the Sony license works is if a character appears for the first time in a Sony movie,
they own the
character. Right. And they're not going to give Sony Mahershala Ali as Blade. He'd have to appear someplace else, and then he could be.
He just appeared here.
He already appeared.
But he didn't appear. He did not appear.
It was just a voice.
Right?
He did not appear. We didn't see his face.
He was technically in the movie.
Now, if he shows up in Spider-Man, then he can go because Morbius comes out after Spider-Man. Well, no, Spider-Man is Sony again. That doesn't work.
Exactly.
He has to show up in Doctor Strange. What they said he's going to show up in Doctor Strange, and then Doctor Strange is going to be before Morbius.
That's how he can show there. But he will not and cannot show up in a Sony movie.
It's like talking to Everborn and talking about Sony. Talking about Sega. The 10-year-old comes out. It's absolutely great. See, there you go.
So, but what I don't want now, like power on a power level. The Black Knight is like a cosmic character. No, he's not
a regular human. He doesn't even have superpowers.
No, he has no powers.
But he has superpowers when he wields the blade.
When he wields the
blade gives him his
regular human.
He can lift up to a ton. And that's just peak human form. You know, Captain America can lift up to 5 tons, or 10 tons, something like that. No, Spider-Man is 10 tons. Captain America is 5 tons. He can only lift up, I think it's like 900 and some odd pounds, close to a ton. The blade can cut through anything. So the ebony blade can cut through anything except for Mjolnir, which is Euro metal. So
the ebony blade can cut through vibranium?
No, it can cut. You're gonna have to meet
because you know that's a question that we asked in the MCU because they've spent a lot of virtual ink on vibranium, and then you introduce a sword that can cut through anything.
Now, so my question is, what I don't want to happen is you try to use Blade's introduction movie to introduce the Black Knight, and then it is like Blade ends up playing the role of the tutor to the student who will surpass him.
And he's the Black Knight, and he happens to be white. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Stay woke.
I knew you were going to go there with it. I'm sorry.
Stay woke, baby. But that's what I don't want to happen. So I hope that they can be in the movie, but I think just give the Black Knight, put him in something else or give him his own movie. I think Kit Harington can carry a film.
Oh yeah. I think it's going to be really good.
Well, Emily Clark hasn't been able to carry a film yet, so it does remain to be seen.
But because Emily Clark, Kit Harington also has to automatically be that way. He seems like a more serious actor than Emily Clark ever was.
Emily Clark is serious. It's just none of her movies worked out, and they really try to make her like a big thing.
Okay, I can explain it to you right now.
Okay.
It can cut through any substance except other enchanted weapons or extremely strong metals like antimadium, although this last bit is contradictory. Even piercing Iron Man's extremist armor with one slash, though how much of a certain substance it can cut through depends on the strength of the welder. So, if you have somebody like Thor welding that sword, it can cut through antimanium or vibranium. If somebody like the Hulk is swinging that sword, it can cut through anything except enchanted armor and enchanted weapons.
Okay. So the combination of a super strength individual plus that sword can cut through anything.
Lethal.
Does he wear armor? Because he's a knight.
Yes, he wears armor.
He does.
Is the armor magical?
The shield is magical and the chalice is magical.
You mean?
And I'm sure in the MCU
is a chalice that he has to get. There's 3 enchanted weapons.
So what is the chalice exactly?
Okay. You make me remember. The chalice was held by Mordo.
But when you say chalice, you mean like a cup?
It's actual cup.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He has it on his hip. When he has all three, he's unstoppable. He can't be defeated. He has the blade, he has the chalice, and he has the shield. I don't know exactly what the chalice does, but the chalice forms the trifecta, right? So I guess it's the mind, body, and soul, or whatever thing they wanted to do with
What
that.
is the ring that she gave him?
Oh, that's his family crest. That's
but that doesn't play any part in
No.
the forming of the power.
No.
He was about to tell her that he was, the Black Knight, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I don't think he ever touched the blade yet.
No, but then how did he know about it? It seemed like he had a history with the blade.
It's his family.
He had a family history, and he was about to tell her who he really was.
About his bad
at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I kept thinking because I don't know why I thought we were gonna see him in action in the movie because it felt like he didn't really want to run.
Shoehorned in there. Like, what purpose did he serve in that movie except to introduce the character?
No, but in he
did nothing.
And I don't think they did him the kind of justice they did Chadwick with introducing T'Challa and Black Panther. He was just there for jokes. You know what I mean?
For shits and giggles. Like Captain Britain,
Henry Cavill.
He did absolutely nothing.
I mean, he was there to remind people.
There.
Remember, these two used to be in another show you all like. He was there
that's all it was. Just to reunite the Stark boys.
Game of Thrones,
that shot was very long, and they did that on purpose when they met and shook hands. But the one thing I do want to say, what I think was a missed opportunity,
they should have played "It's Mr. Steal Your Girl." Oh, that was the missed opportunity.
No. The missed opportunity is, and we're gonna wrap this up soon.
Yes.
But the missed opportunity is every character in a narrative endeavor should play some role in advancing the plot of that specific story. And Kit Harington's character did not do that. There's nothing in the film that he was able to advance plot-wise. Whether he was there or not, the movie plays out exactly the same way. And I know they did something in the end credits, but for the film itself, he did not do anything to advance the plot.
They need him there for when they do the Captain Britain film with Henry Cavill, and he's there.
And then he will be important then. But I'm saying here they should have had him do something. Even if you look at the colonizer,
has it been confirmed that Captain Britain is confirmed?
Look at the colonizer in Black Panther. He had no reason to be there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But when he was there, he helped advance the plot, right?
Which I have a huge problem with, but I'll be quiet about that. Huge problem.
I'm just saying
because the comics made him they turned the villain into a hero for whatever reason. But okay,
they should have made him at least kill one of them freaking monsters with the sword. If you're gonna have him,
no, it don't have to be with the sword, but there's ways. Listen, if you ever, and I know you don't watch this, but if you watch My Hero, hold on a minute. What I'm saying is, you can have inventive ways where someone without powers can use their luck and grit to stop something that otherwise would have killed a normal person, right? So you could have found a way to just have him do something
except run
that advances the plot. And to me, that was a missed opportunity. He's there for the sole purpose of being a commercial for something else, as opposed to
like all the movies are
moving the plot. No, but they all have. Everyone serves a purpose in the movies that they're in to advance the plot. He did not. It doesn't matter how you put it. You could have took him out the movie and it would have made no difference. But anyway, that was my issue. Again,
I think all of his scenes was shot after the fact. I think his contract was shot after the fact, and I think they just shoehorned them in there to keep your eyes looking to see. Hopefully, maybe. Because you knew Dane Whitman, once you knew the name, you knew the Ebony Blade was going to come into play because they said it in the movie. So they kept you like the proverbial carrot on a string. You either the horse and the donkey, the jackass following along. Hopefully it paid off.
Isn't that what Feige really does anyway? Like he gets you in the seat for what you're there for. He already got your money. Now he has to get you in the seat for the next time something comes out. So let me dangle some string in front of you real quick to remind you to come back.
Think we see the Black Knight again in the Blade movie, or in the next Celestials? I mean, in the next Eternals movie, or in his own movie, or in a Marvel TV show?
Captain Britain's movie.
In the Captain Britain movie?
Yeah.
Is that that already has a release date set?
No, hasn't even been announced. But we have what was it? The 15th is Disney Day, something like that. And they're gonna go all out and give us a whole bunch of stuff.
They just took a stock hit because the Disney Plus numbers slowed down, so they're gonna need to show people something.
Oh well,
get everybody
when the
back.
Book of Boba hits in December, that number's gonna shoot straight through the roof.
Once again, indeed, yes, and by all accounts, it looks like it's better than the Mandalorian first season.
Oh hell yeah, man!
Really,
it's Baby Yoda. They're gonna go all the way live.
It. Yes, indeed.
Guys, I gotta shoot up out of here.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna go into the Kickstarter stuff now. So let me tell the fine folks where they can find you, sir.
Well, tomorrow you can find me at DCX channel on YouTube on Legion of Doom 9 p.m. talking these wonderful statues and comic books and stuff of that nature. Might go into a little bit of the Eternals. I made sure that they watched The Harder They Fall, so I will be cute quizzing these guys to see if they actually did watch what is to me, and I'll be back here next Thursday to talk about the greatest Western film in the last 20 years.
Better than 310 to Yuma?
The greatest Western film in the last 20 years, in my opinion. And we can have the comparisons, and I can give you why. But
interesting.
And, real characters doing real life things. And Sundays you can catch me at Iron Lords Podcast 11 a.m. where you might hear Jamaican Jim do his thing. So.
Jimmy Cliff.
Oh no, you know what? I needed to talk to Jamaican Jim when I was on the show because I have some questions for him. So maybe we could work out a segment where I come on for 5 minutes and talk to the eye.
All right, guys. Great seeing y'all guys.
Yes, thank you again, man. Thank you,
Peace
thank
out,
you.
brothers.
We will connect. I'm gonna give you a call tomorrow.
All right, no doubt.
Always in education. Thank you, good sir.
Later, brother.
All right, people. We are one thing about The Harder They Fall. That accent that
here you go.
who you call it was
Regina
doing.
King?
Oh my God, took me out of every scene she was in.
Completely.
I'm not allowed to talk about Black Panther's accents, but this man want to keep going on about Regina King's accent.
Oh my God. Disgusting. But anyway, and there's no reason for it. She's one of the best working actors today, and you have to do that dumbass accent.
Just like you could have hired real black people, real Africans to do Black Panther. But we digress. Keep it moving, sir.
Okay, we will keep it moving. You're not mad at Fastos, but you worried about Black Panther actors. Damn it. Selfish.
I'm not mad at Fastos at all. No, I'm not.
I am.
Doing my Googles for that movie, it's completely fictional. It's based on real people, but completely fictional.
Oh, yeah. They literally took different
Not Love and Rufus. Buck
Mm-hmm.
never even met in real life, and Rufus Buck was 18
died
when he
at
died.
18 when he was hanged with his gang.
Yeah,
and they were kind of half black, half Native American. Also,
Rufus Buck.
Of them.
Yeah, some of them were multiracial. But that's another very interesting thing about that, how they erased Black people's history of us being Native American.
Yeah, and like even just with Bass Reeves and whenever you think of Westerns growing up, you think of it as white people from Texas. That is not the truth.
The first cowboys were Black people,
right?
Hence, boy. Yeah. Remember, back in those days, boy was not a term of endearment. So I don't think they called white people cowboys. That's a theory that has been floated that I've actually done a little bit of research into, and it's actually pretty. There's some dribs and drabs that prove the point. that there were a lot more black cowboys that were just not given the credit they deserve because cowboys became cool later.
Yeah. And when they became
Bass
cool, they were
Reeves, the
like,
Lone
"We're
Ranger,
gonna
bro.
take this." Now, we need a Bass Reeves movie, like just about like an autobiography kind of thing.
Yeah.
I heard he had to hunt his son once because his son killed his wife. Like that in and of itself is right for a movie. But anyway, I want to go and talk about this thing here.
Please do.
Now, this is my
somebody has to start the slow clap.
That's kind of a fast clap. That's like a medium clap. Slow clap is. Yeah, this is it. This is the Kickstarter for the Redlands. This is our newest series. It is the third of 4 series. And I Splendiferous. I see you bringing up Django. And those are strong words King made about the last 20 years, and very interesting. But I want to talk about this thing for a little bit. So I'm going to start off by playing the video. So if you have not checked this campaign out, we're gonna walk you through it right now. So people, we are back. This is the second Kickstarter campaign in the Everborn saga. It is me, Stephen A.M. Johnson. Some of you may just know me as Everborn Saga. We are launching a new series today. It is called The Redlands. It takes place on the opposite side of the world. You may already know of the Kingdom of Arcadia or the Wolf Colony of Ithrin. The Redlands is to the east of all of that. So our lead character is Karma. Karma's a bandit, and she leads a crew that targets the royals and gives the spoils to the commoners. Her crew really hates the royals. There's just one problem. Karma is secretly one of the royals, and she's been leading the team to systematically target allies of the king so she can exact her revenge because he got on the throne by killing her parents. Now, she can't tell the king she's robbing his friends, and she can't tell her friends that she's using them to settle a score, because that's exactly why they hate the royals. Now, she's going to lead a double life, and I am sure that won't come back to bite her. Now, you might be asking yourself how this connects to the rest of the saga. Well, on top of all the drama going on in Karma's life, she's also having really bad nightmares. But it turns out those nightmares aren't just nightmares, they're visions of the future. And in those visions, she sees Ariel. Now, I don't want to give too much away, so let's get down to business. If you are familiar with the Everborn saga and you supported the first campaign, I created a tier just for you. It is called the Loyalty tier. You can cut out right now, go straight to that tier. That's the one for you. But if you are new to the Everborn saga, the rightful heir is the one you want. It will get you caught up on every chapter we've ever done. That includes Prince of Arcadia, Ariel's Adventure, and now the Redlands. But there's another special tier called the Everborn tier, and that one we will create a character for you that will make an appearance in a future issue of the Everborn saga. And the final and best one, and there's only one of these, if you like, you can choose the Immortal tier, where we will make a one-of-one cover done by Philip Johnson, the one who does all our covers, and it will be just for you. It will be a collector's item. So I just want to say thank you for all the support and all the positive words, and you guys keep us going. So let's do it one more time. Everborn out.
You're on mute, bro.
I'm back.
There you go.
Yeah. So that was the campaign trailer video. I want to get
shout out to Bunty, your man Bunty. Just he didn't even know. He found out and he funded right away. Thank you, brother. Good job.
We gotta get the link in here if we can. Of course, it doesn't want to show up because here we go. Okay, so I just want to put this in the chat for everyone. You can go see this for yourself. So yeah, this is our cover. It shows our lead. This is Karma and her crew. And this is an animation that we did. I'll play this for you guys later. That we used this one the last time, so if you're familiar, it'll be there. But this is Carmen. Like I said, she is a princess by day, bandit by night. The king that got on the throne killed her parents to get on the throne, but he kind of felt guilty when he realized they had a kid because he's kind of like a warlord, and he raised her like his own daughter. So he actually does love her. But she hates him.
On some Thanos stuff.
Very close to that, yes. Mm-hmm. So she leads this crew. All they know is that they're robbing from the rich and giving to the poor, kind of Robin Hood style. But like they hate the royals, but she's sort of using them to systematically target allies of the king in order to weaken him so that she can exact her revenge. But the problem is she's sort of using her friends for this. So that double life is something she's going to have to contend with in order to get what she wants. So can't tell the king he's robbing her friends. Can't tell her friends she's one of the people that they hate. And while all that is going on, she's having these visions because it turns out that she is a Cassandra in our world. In our world, a Cassandra is like an oracle. And so she's having visions of the end of the world. And the person at the center of it is Ariel. And she has no idea who he is, but they will meet, later on. And again, this all started as a video game, so you can see her original design in the game to her design now.
Evolution.
That's our world map. I don't know if I can zoom in. So Arcadia here is where Prince of Arcadia takes place, obviously. And then this is the Wildwood. This is where Ethrin is. So this is where we start off at in Ariel's adventure. And then all of this is the Redlands. So this is our playground where this story is going to take place. And this is another thing because we have two timelines. So this is young man Baltimore looking into the future and old man Baltimore looking into the past, where we see, because Prince of Arcadia takes place 30 years before Ariel's adventure. And here are a few pages. You can see this new king living the lifestyle while certain other people are suffering. And this is Karma scoping out her prey. And here's her crew. Lots of action in this thing. I like to call it like fantasy meets sort of Ocean's 11.
Bro. Fire.
This is some of the visions she's having, her eyes turning red. So she's going to have to become who she is on top of dealing with all this stuff. And Ariel's going to have to become what he is in order to get, stop the end of the world. So this is our, we do one of these for every book. This is our credits page. So this is me, right? This is Royals versus Bandits. That's the theme with this one. This is the editor, John Zammer. This is Philip Johnson. He does our covers. This is Mike Banting. He does all the inks and line art. This is Sam Gungan, his wife. Oh, no. I have that wrong. Sorry. This is Sam Gungan, his wife. And this is Albert Dela Cruz, he does all the colors, and this is Nikki Fox Robot, who does all our lettering. So, and this is what everybody looks like in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And these are all the tiers. So like I said in the video, if you have not, if you don't know what the Everborn Saga is, the Theros reward is the one to go to. It is, you can, and you just want the books, you can get Prince of Arcadia 1 through 4, Ariel's Adventure 1, and now the Redlands. But this is the real one, because this is the one where you get like these custom t-shirts and posters with it. So this is probably the most popular one that everyone goes with, but this is the interesting one. And this one's already gone. This is where we give you your own cover, right? And you'll have a one-of-one cover. It's like a collector's item, and it'll be done by Philip, our cover artist. But this one, you'll get everything. You'll get the t-shirt, you'll get the poster, you get all the books, but we'll also get an executive producer credit on the book. And we will make you a character in the Everborn universe, and you will show up in a future chapter. And this is the one we did in the last campaign for Ariel's Adventure.
Now, is this going to be just like a server that shows up serving meat, or are you actually going to have a speaking role?
No. You're going to have a speaking role. I mean, you're not going to be like a main character. We're going to have to set up another tier if you want to become like a mainstay character. But this, you will be immortalized in the Everborn universe, and you'll get a walk.
You get a line. You get one thought bubble.
That's a thought bubble role.
You're lucky we don't have Baltimore kick you in the face as you walk on.
That's not bad, you know. He killed gruesomely somehow, especially gruesome somehow.
Yeah, and Jackie Chan got his neck snapped by Bruce Lee and freaking Enter the Dragon.
Yeah, Rite of Passage, baby.
We so this one's limited, right? Because I can't make like 1 million characters, so we only have 9 slots left for this one. And like I said, the cover is a one-of-one, and we only do one of those, so that's already gone. But this is the one, and I've seen people get this so they can make their kids a character. So and then we've got a bunch of add-ons. So like if it's something that's not included in one of the tiers, this is like basically comes from our store. You can add any one of these sort of shirts or wall art. And like this wall art is large. It's like the one you see behind me there. It's like 24 by 36. So, and we've got other things. We've got the Everborn cat, right? And book bags and things like that. But like I said, these are add-on things. But this is what we're working towards now, the stretch goal. So this is sort of, I want to upgrade everyone to the hardcover edition of Prince of Arcadia Ultimate Edition Book 2. This is Book 1, where it has chapters 1 and 2. Book 2 has chapters 3 and 4, plus 20 pages of bonus content. And this is the one that I think everyone really wants, because we have an actual goal. If you're
Bible.
Right. If you are into fantasy, you're not into comics, we've made Everborn into a fantasy novel. You can kind of get ahead of the comics if you want to get this one. But this one is specifically for The Remnant, which is the next series we're going to launch.
Man, look at you, bro. Look at you.
And this is going to come out in March if we can get funded, so that we can have the editor come on and fix all of my goddamn typos.
Business.
Right. And so another thing just to point out here, right? I never do a campaign until I know the book is done. Right. So you can see here, this book was already funded by me, and the only thing left is lettering, printing, and fulfillment for the Kickstarter. Right. That is what I come to the community for, because I never want there to be a situation where, well, we couldn't finish the book, or we lost an artist, or whatever. The book is done. This campaign is really for fan acquisition and to get the books out, like printed, and get them out to you guys. So, yeah, man, it's really humbling to be chosen as one of Kickstarter's projects we love, and we were funded in the first 24 hours again. So it's encouraging, and it kind of gives me the energy to keep going. Now, I want to show you guys one more thing before we all get out of here. This is the animation, in case you're weren't familiar with from the last campaign. Yeah, man. So that's that's the animation we put together, just to kind of give people an idea of. And you can see it's a big universe, tons of characters. But yeah, man, this is what I've been doing with the last sort of decade of my life. And there's also a game which play this in the background while we talk. But yeah, it's all connected. It's a whole connected universe. It's this is it, man. This is my
content.
This is my baby here.
You may want to turn your volume down a little bit, bro.
Not only do I have it trademarked, I have it copywritten and trademarked. Yeah. But yeah, so this is where we're going, man. And if you I hope you guys will check it out and this is all I do, man. I eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff. So I hope you guys will want to check out the campaign and help us take this to the next level, because I think once this is our third individual series, we're going to release the Remnant, and that rounds out our 4 POV series, and that is the foundation we're going to build this story on. So yeah, man. This is it. So I'm not going to bore you guys with this.
Round of applause, man. Round of applause.
And I see what that wasn't. I see that was like applause, a sound effect.
Yeah.
It sounded like you were running a blender. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, man, this is it. Lots more on the way, and let's come back to reality. So.
Pro tip: get some sleep, bro.
Yeah,
I think you need some.
Yeah, after you see all this, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's busy out here.
Yeah, the link is in the chat. I'll put it in the chat again. Please
do
check us out. And that's it, man. So, Mr. K. Asante, enough of my stuff. One other thing: if you're not subscribed to this channel, what are you doing? Please hit the like and subscribe button. K. Asante keeps telling me that I'm not doing that enough, and I think he's beating me by like 20 subs. So I'd like, if you're watching this video, let's get my sub count up so I can.
I would also like Mr. Everborn Saga to be more consistent with his output, and as such, more people will see this. I'm
consistently putting out these comics, man.
There you go.
All right, so but tell the fine folks where they can find you, sir.
I will say that I will be actually we will be doing obviously the Gaming Circle on this Saturday. I will also be a guest on Green Pass Gaming this Sunday.
Nice.
Yeah, they invited me to come on last week, but obviously family things couldn't do it, so we're definitely doing it this week. We're gonna have some fun on this week's show. I took away like a couple of days off, went to go to Disneyland with the kids, and so much news happened. So we're going
all hell breaks loose.
All hell breaks loose on the internet. It's gonna be fun, So I haven't decided who we're gonna have as a guest yet. Maybe we'll talk about that later. But yes, Gaming Circle podcast this weekend, Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard. You can find me TKO Asante, as it says right there. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the whole spiel. You know where it is.
Oh, no, go ahead. I got something to.
Oh no. Okay. Follow me. I'll follow you back. Appreciate all the kind words and You know, a lot of people out there, you know, loving what we do, and you know, as the man has said, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so, because Everborn also needs those followers as well, and hopefully he'll be more consistent, so you know when the next On the Reel's coming off, or
like
when it's
public
not coming off.
shaming
Maybe
that's
this.
happening.
Hey man, it's that
Family
wonderful
stuff
tradition.
sometimes, bro.
It's
It
that.
always proceeds.
Oh yeah, no, of course. I know that I'm just giving them a hard time, but no, we appreciate you guys for watching, and I'm sure we'll see you guys again next week. What were you going to say, everyone?
I was gonna say that I found someone because I did a show last night, Bitten Apple TV. There's a gentleman on there, Lewis, that does like statues, kind of like the and he's gonna make some Everborn statues for me. We're gonna get started to work on that.
Very cool.
Like
and he
like
does
3D rendering.
No, he makes them like from scratch.
Yeah.
Yes, they're sculpted statues.
That's awesome. Yeah.
We're gonna do a whole line, so all the mainline characters in Everborn, they're gonna be on that shelf behind me, and we're gonna show them off. So we're gonna start to work on that in January. So I'm cool, super excited about that. Yeah. And he does highly detailed stuff, like the stuff you'd see at conventions and things like that. So, Mr. Johnson, tell the people where they can find you and when you are going to launch your inaugural episode of your action figure show.
February 31st.
You know what I'm talking about?
But you can find me if you're looking for me at LeVar F. Johnson on all platforms. I'm out here in these streets.
Yeah, he won't answer you on Twitter, but let's shame him, people, into but if King David is the king of statues, LeVar is the king of action figures. We need to get him doing a show, let out those creative juices. I believe in you, sir. You should do it, and I'm going to publicly castigate you until you do. So because shame is the best motivator. Stop giving your kids participation awards. Stop telling them they're special. You make yourself special. That's it.
We need a dong. Shame.
I'm gonna get some shame graphics made. But yes, this is it. We're not doing participation awards. You gotta
sink or swim,
yourself value. Yes. So you're gonna open up that thing, and it will be at where they find them wonderful toys at on Instagram. You can check out some of his stuff. But anyway. You can find me at Everborn Saga everywhere, like Kay Sante said. Mondays on Primetime and Gaming on Mr. Boom's channel. Saturdays we do the Gaming Circle podcast, where I'm just gonna try and sneak in Sega wishes every week now. That's my new thing. And you can find me like shilling this Kickstarter for the next 25 days. Let's take it over to the top, because I want to see this campaign be bigger than the last campaign, because it shows that we are moving in the right direction. So help a brother out. Even if you can't like get in monetarily, share it. That's it. Let somebody else see it now, spread the word. So I appreciate all the support so far. And like I said, it's been a humbling experience doing this, and creation is where I find my peace. So, thank you all for helping me become a Zen master. And with that, I think that's it, folks. I think we are out of here.